At this time, the court calls case number 660009, State of Texas versus Sam Perez Rodriguez. Are you Sam Perez Rodriguez?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Patricia, do you need these papers yourself?
No, Your Honor, I won't be able to share them on the screen. You have them printed out in front of you.
I know, but I have to share them with the gentleman so he can see them.
If you want, Judge, I can come in and we can print them, and then I can just go through them as you're going through them there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, be right back. Stay right there. I'm fast.
Kayleen, you gonna be working the next couple of weeks?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll expect you and Patty to keep things under control here.
I'm thinking about working from home, and I'm hoping I can talk Patty into it also.
I think I can order her too. And you. Well, Patty. I'm just chatting with Ms. Rivera. I'm ordering you to work out of home for the next 2 weeks.
Oh,
Judge?
okay. All right. Hi.
You had to give that some thought for a moment there.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, we are
All
ready.
right.
I have a copy of the paperwork.
Very good. Mr. Rodriguez, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You gotta speak a little louder because you got that mask on.
Speak up very loud. Say it louder.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, before we go further, I'm going to verbally, orally, make a record that Ms. Kayleen Rivera, my court reporter, is going to make official record of our discussion concerning your rights and protections that are afforded you under our Constitution and laws. You have the right to remain silent. That means you don't have to make any kind of statement. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to submit paperwork that has your signature in that, especially papers that admit or confess to wrongdoing. You understand you have the right to remain silent.
Yes, sir.
You have the right to a jury trial. That means you and your attorney and the state would select from a pool of randomly selected jurors. You'd select 6 people to hear the evidence, see the materials, hear the testimony, and they would decide whether you're guilty or not guilty if you chose. It's called the right to a jury trial. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You also have the right to confront witnesses. That means simply that you and your attorney can cross-examine, question, or challenge any witness who would testify if you went to trial. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You also have the right to an appeal. An appeal happens after all the case is over and you're finished. There's been a decision. You and your attorney, or you by yourself or him by himself, can submit the correct paperwork, being mindful of the time limits, and demand that a higher court review the official record, the testimony, the evidence, for whatever challenge you wanted to make. You understand that that's basically called the right of appeal.
Yes, sir.
All right, then you have the right to demand that this matter be heard in the open public courtroom with me there the prosecutors, the court reporter, everybody. You understand you have the right to make that demand.
Yes, sir.
Now, the state has the same right. They have that right to demand that this be done completely in the open public courtroom. So now, I'm now going to show on the record, we're going to show you some papers. In fact, you have them in front of you in actual paperwork. It's my understanding that you and Mr. Desmarais have reviewed these papers, all of them carefully, and that you have signed them, and so has he. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. The papers you're looking at have at the top of each different document what I call identifying information. At the top, it'll have CC, meaning County Court 660009. That means the case number. Then it says the state of Texas versus Sam Perez Rodriguez in County Court in Law Number 5, Bexar County, Texas. Do you see that identifying information?
Yes, sir.
All right. After each time that you start a new document and it has that identifying information, then it's going to have the title of the particular paper. This one says State's Consent to Video Conference. The title is in all capitals, bold print. It stands out. It's darker print. So I told you a while ago that the state has the right to demand the public hearing. The document that you're seeing and Mr. Desmarais is holding in front of the camera there, it's titled State's Consent to Video Conference. They have signed it. That is Ms. Caitlin C. Morgan says for the state, yes, we agree to the video conference. You see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The next document has the identifying information. This one's called Discovery Acknowledgement. This one is signed by your attorney and the state's attorney. They're saying that the law that's referred to at the very first line on top, after it says Discovery Acknowledgement, that law requires the state to make available to you and to acknowledge materials, evidence, everything that's necessary for you to be fully informed and make you and your attorney and make a informed and intelligent decision. You understand that they have both signed, the state and defense. They're saying, yeah, this law has been obeyed. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then we have now the defendant's consent to video conference. Identifying information. This one has your signature and that of your attorney. And y'all are saying, yes, we understand we have the right to demand this be done in the public courtroom. We're doing it by video conference. It is, by the way, Mr. Rodriguez, is being shown on YouTube so the entire world can see it, look at it, whatever. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The next document is 2 pages long. It's titled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. You're saying in there that you're going to plead nolo contendere to terroristic threat of a family or household. Now, that has some strong implications of family violence. You need to be aware that you can have all kinds of problems result from this. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have to be real careful about your behavior because you can have problems concerning having any kind of weapons in your house. Do you have any firearms in your house?
No, sir, no.
Okay, well, don't allow anybody, even if they're not yours, don't allow anybody bringing them into your home.
Yes, sir.
Now, this document tells you it's got 15 parts that are numbered. Number 1 talks about the punishment for this offense. It's from $0 to $4,000 fine and 0 to 1 year in jail. Did you see all of that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about this document? It's been signed by you and your attorney. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
Very good. One thing I want to make sure you understand is the deal that's been made for you or with you, I don't have to accept it. As a judge, I'm required to say yes or no. I can say yes, and we'll do it, or I can say no. I'm not going to go do that. I can also give you any punishment that we talked about it here in the range of punishment. Even if the punishment is heavier than what you agreed to, I can do that legally. But if I reject your deal, if I say, nah, I ain't buying it, or if I give you a heavier punishment than you agreed to, then in that case, the law would allow you to start all over again. Is that clear?
Understand?
Yes, sir. I do.
Okay. Now, the next document is my document where I certify to you that you do not have a right of appeal because this is a plea bargain case.
Yes, sir.
There's a document, it's called Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. It's got a stack of vertical boxes, and next to each stack, there's a declaration or statement about the right of appeal. If you count from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have check marked the fifth one. It says this is a plea bargain case and you do not have a right of appeal. Do you see and understand that?
Yes, sir. I do.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. After this, the next document, by the way, Mr. Desmarais, just to make real clear, you and your client have carefully reviewed all of these documents that are in your hands. Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
And to your knowledge, as an officer of the court, Mr. Rodriguez understands what these documents say and do.
I believe he does, Judge.
All right. Now, the next document, this is the final wrap up. This is called a plea agreement. The first two boxes are checked off. The first one repeats again that you have the right to remain silent and that you've been clearly told about it. Then the second one says that you are a U.S. citizen. Where were you born?
San Antonio here, Texas.
All right. So you are a U.S. citizen. The papers will reflect that. The next section has 5 boxes. Each one talks about different rights and protections. Did you see and understand every one of these?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, down the line here, it says you're charged with terroristic threat of family household. What is your plea?
No contest.
All right. A no contest plea is sufficient for me to find you guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, I order you to appear in the offices of Bexar County Court of Law number 5, right here where you're at. You're in the courtroom, but behind the courtroom, there's a hallway and our offices are there. I order you to come over here and make sure that your thumbprint is placed on these documents as required by law. Mr.
Yes, sir.
Desmarais will guide you. They'll have no problem. Now, you have pled no contest. I find, based on your plea and the evidence, that you are guilty. I therefore sentence you to 6 days in Bexar County Jail. No fine, no court costs. I grant you credit for time served. Time and money run concurrently. The court finds that you have satisfied this judgment and that you owe nothing further to the state of Texas or to this court on this charge. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me warn you again, sir. This kind of stuff can get you in some very serious trouble. Be extra careful about your behavior with your family, you hear?
Yes, sir.
All right. You take care, stay out of trouble, be blessed, be well, be safe, you and your family. Mr.